sing it with me. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Right, I don't know if I got the lyrics in the right order there, but they're in there somewhere. Well, guys, webpianoteacher.com, the all-new webpianoteacher.com. If you haven't been there in a while, check it out. All the things you guys have wanted for the past 12 years. It's optimized for mobile devices, sheets for every lesson. You guys have been wanting that. Many other things. Just go on there and check it out. You can watch the free part ones on there without having to watch a YouTube ad, so that's a great thing. All right, Let It Be. This is a great one because it is a great song. It's fun to play, but it's also for beginners. Okay, some of my lessons are for advanced, and you don't want to start with one of those if you're a beginner piano player. You want to start with something that's basic, and this is one of them. So let's get into it. All right, so we have just basic chord accompaniment here. There are a lot of songs that are just chords. There's no real heavy piano playing going on. It's just kind of a chord accompaniment, kind of like when a guitar player just strums on the guitar while they're singing. Okay, so this is definitely a beginner lesson. If you are a beginner, let's hop on and do this and take a look at measure 1. All right, so we have G, C, E on the right hand. That is a C chord. All right, and if you're really interested in beginner stuff, I have my Easy Piano Lesson Series, my all-new Easy Piano Lesson Series. I just did it in 2019. It's on the website. There's a PDF for all 50 lessons. You get all 50 PDF sheets in one download there, if you're a member. But that's for all you beginners. G, C, E on the right hand. C chord because it's C, E, G. Does not matter that it's out of order, per se, because a lot of you know this is a C chord, C, E, G, but this is also a C chord. The notes are just mixed up. It doesn't matter. The recipe for a C chord is C, E, G, no matter how they're laid out on the keyboard. And we have a C in the left hand. Now I have just a C written there, but we're going to do an octave, okay? So C on the thumb, C on the 5th finger. All right? There we go. If your hands aren't big enough to stretch out for that C, you can just play one C. That'll work too. So there's my first chord. We're just going to go 1, 2 for the first 2 counts. 1, 2. If you're using pedal, you can see my pedal. You want to start with your pedal down and then go up, down. When you pedal, right? Your pedal should not go with your hands up and down. Your pedal should be catching the chord up, down. It's almost like your hands push your foot up. Like that for the first 2 counts. There's your first 2 chords. All right, we're doing it. You're playing the piano. All right, next chord is a G chord. Okay, so the recipe for a C chord is C, E, G. The recipe for a G chord is G, B, D. Okay, so C chord, G chord. Start memorizing that if you can, because you're going to see C chords and G chords all over the place. So a G chord is G, B, D. Let's take a look at it. G, B, D. Left hand moves down to G. There's our second chord. That one's easy to see that it's a G chord because it's what we call in root position. It's just all the notes are on top of each other there. All right, and this is a remake of an old lesson I did like 13 years ago of Let It Be on YouTube, and now we have this new set. I wanted to redo it so you guys could see better, have a better lesson for it. So let's do the first measure. That's this part right here. And go 1, 2, 3. For my fingering, I'm using 1, 3, 5, and then 1, 2, 4. Let's do it again. Okay, watch my foot on my pedal. Up, down, up, down. When the chord changes, that's when your foot goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Very good. C chord, G chord. Now the toughie part is getting from one chord to the next. So what you need to practice is the shift from one chord to the next, okay, to where you don't have to have a pause in there. And the great thing is, once you learn this little part we're going to learn, you can play half the song. There's other parts to it, but this is the intro. It's also the verse, okay? So you can already play the verse after we learn this. The next chord is an A minor. So what's the recipe for an A minor chord? A, C, E. And when we talk about chords and what's in the chord and the inversion, we're talking about theory, music theory. Theory helps you understand what you're playing, helps you know about what you're doing with the chords and how one chord relates to another. It's kind of just the reasons behind it all. Instead of just playing notes and saying, oh, that sounds good, you know why it sounds good. And on the website in the Easy Piano Lesson series, we really get into all that with theory and ear training and technique, giving you a full package of everything you need to progress in your lessons. But an A minor has ACE in it. Okay, so that's the recipe for ACE. So now you know a third chord. Let's take a look at it. ACE. Okay, that one's also in root position, meaning it's real easy to see what the chord is because the root is on the bottom. ACE. Left hand is on an A. Now the rhythm is a little bit different here. Long, short, short, long, long. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and on the score and put a little curved line there. A lot of times I'll notate if the notes go a little faster, I'll have a little curved line. So that one's longer, and then shorter, shorter. Now you see my pedal? I pedaled each one of those. I pedaled the first one, and this one's the same, so I didn't need to pedal again, but I did here. Why? Even though the right hand stayed the same, the left hand changed, and you don't want the A octave and the G octave mixing. That'll sound terrible. So you put your heel on the floor, and you just lift that toe, okay? Now, my next chord is still an A minor on the top, but the left hand is an F. Okay, that makes it an F major 7. We're not going to get into that. Let's just keep with the idea that that's A minor on the top, and we have an F on the bass on the left hand. One more thing. We just have an A and a D there, just as an interval of a fourth. A to D is a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you count intervals, you count every note. 1, 2, 3, 4, A and D. Okay. So to play this one, this measure 1, 2, and 3, 4. What you need to practice is making sure you don't blur the pedal and making sure your left hand is going down. Okay, I'm not blurring that pedal. Everybody blurs the pedal unless they think not to do it. You have to really, it's one of the things that really needs attention that most people don't pay attention to is teaching the pedal correctly. Okay, and pedaling. Now, we have a little form in our lessons when we're learning. All right, we have learn, play, share. We're in the learning part right now. The learning is where you're in the workshop, you're in the classroom, you're studying. It takes a lot of brain power, paying attention, and you're getting this new information, putting it in correctly. And when you do that, when you're in that stage on a song, you want to make sure you get pieces that you can do, and then you put them together. Okay, we learned the first measure. That was the first piece. And then we learned the second measure. That was the second piece. Now we're going to put that together. But the idea is not to move on to that second piece until the first piece is in pretty good shape. Get this one in pretty good shape, and then we put them together before we go on. We don't go on yet. We do what we can handle. All right, I always say here a little, there a little. A little is the key. Not a lot, a little, and then those little things begin to add up to big things if you do it long enough. All right, so now we're going to tie the first two measures together. This is how we practice. Okay? A lot of people don't know how to practice, and this is how to practice. It's very simple. Just little pieces and link them together. So we're going to do both measures now. Okay, you ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now yours may not have sounded like that. You may have messed it all up. You may have had pauses. Maybe your pedaling was terrible. Or maybe you work on it a little while and you get it and you go, all right, man, I have it. And then you come back an hour and then you can't even remember where middle C is. That's everyone. That's not just your experience. That's everyone's experience. But as you keep repeating that and doing it again and again, you begin to learn it. Okay? So let's do it again. Begin to really get it. Very good. So you'll have to repeat that several times. Many times. Some of you maybe a few days before it feels comfortable, and that's okay. Whatever it takes you, that's fine. Now, the next measure is great because it is a repeat of what we already know. All right, look at that. Music repeats a lot. The first measure is just like the third measure, so we already know it. We can already play it. Well, that last measure we'll work on, but we already know it, so let's link it together, right? That's our form. Learn, play, share. We're in the learn section right now. Once you get to the point where you are not learning it anymore and it's memorized, then you're into the play area. Learn, play. The playing is where you just play stuff you know. It doesn't require a lot of brain activity, not a lot of paying attention. It requires enjoyment and discipline of you just doing it every day and enjoying the song, playing it. It's not like we learn it and then we go, okay, let's go to the next thing. No, now the fun begins. When you learn it, now you get to just play it and enjoy it. Play it for other people, which involves the sharing part. But let's continue with the learning as we tie our three measures together. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, now we're going to look at the last measure, but I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I'm cutting off some of my notation there. Okay. All right, if you look at that last measure, I have a chord written, and then I have 3 dashes going down. And the reason I did that is because I want you to realize that you have a chord, a form of a chord, and you're going to take that whole thing and you're going to move it down. And then you're going to take that whole thing, you will move it down again, and you'll move it down one more time. But the idea is you get your hand locked in that mold of that, what is that, the first inversion chord, and you feel that on your fingers, and you just move the whole thing down. But you have to get that feel of your hand, because I don't want to write out all the letters and then you're figuring out each chord when you don't have to figure out anything. You just take what you have and step down with it. Okay, so let's take a look at that. A, C, F. That is an F chord. All right? F chord, because it has F-A-C in it. Yeah, it's mixed up. A's on the bottom, but it's still F-A-C. First one's long. Now that next dash here, we're just moving everything down. So lock your fingers in that mold. See, I got it. Now move it down. See that? This is not just something that happens automatically. You have to think about this. Okay? You don't want to play and then go, okay, here's the next one. G, B. No, you don't have to do that. It's right there. Just move it down. That's an E minor, by the way, if you wanted to know. E, G, B. Move it down again. That's D minor, D, F, A. One more time. And then we're on C, E, G. We made it. Watch my pedal. Pedal, 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 pedal. Okay? If you don't have your, if you don't leave your heel on the floor, you're doing this. I see people do this where they're lifting their whole foot. Don't do that. Heels on the floor. The weight of your foot, weight of your leg is on your heel, and the toe is just free to move up and down. Okay? So pedal, 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 pedal. And it's 1, 2, and 3, 4 for the counts. Okay, so you practice that a while, get it down. Now what do? It's the fourth link in our chain. Okay? So we're going to add it on to what we already know. Now you may have to start over every day and relearn the first measure, relearn the second measure, and that's okay. All right, that's okay. But you'll find every day you learn it and get it back a little quicker than you did the day before. So let's add it on and play the whole 4 measures. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Very good. And you can also play that for the verse, right? You play it and start singing with it. And a lot of fun. Okay, a lot of Beatles songs have just those chords, and a lot of other songs have just those chords. A lot of great songs. So there are great songs that we can use and play as beginners, and I include those in my Easy Piano Lesson series on webpianoteacher.com. Guys, I hope you had fun doing this lesson. I surely did. See you on the website.